I knew if I changed my mic it would do this. Sorry, you can hear the dogs chewing. How is everybody? This is why I'm doing these lives because, well, one, sorry, Zoe is chewing on a bone. One is because I'm not really sure how I want to set everything up. So, I'm kind of playing with my setup, playing with all of my stuffs. Hey, hey, Cameron. Hi, Robbie. What is up? Okay, I'm gonna try to type something from like my program, I guess, that I'm using. And I'm gonna see if I can see it in the chat. So let me know if you can see it in the chat. And then I don't have to have several screens up. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Hello, Ryan, what's up? Do y'all see that? Does that even show up as me? Okay, I don't think my mic's gonna work this way. I think I have to do it the other way because it's not as close to my face. Okay, you see it. Does it show up as me or does it show up as the name of the YouTube channel? Because on my end, it's showing my name. See, this is again why I'm doing this because I want to see how all this is working. And sometimes the best way to do it is to test it. And I kind of test better like on the spot. See what this does. Does it show it in here? It does show it as me. That's so cool, you guys. Okay, I'm gonna exit out of the YouTube then because I can do it all from here. How exciting. Okay, I'm gonna try to adjust my mic now too. Because I don't like this. Okay, is that better? I feel like it's better. Okay, thank you guys for letting me know it's the pod name. And then once I get this like figured out, I'm gonna sit back a little bit so that my head's not like caught off. Because I want this to be chill. That's why I set it up this way. I set it up this way because I wanted it to be different than. I'm gonna have to get like a pillow because these cushions do not come, and I can't sit. I'm too old to sit hunched over all the time. I don't know. I wanted the vibe to be a little bit more like cozy, like intimate, like conversational than me sitting at my desk like I was before, which I have nothing wrong. Again, it's so weird. I feel like every time I'm like, I want to do this, I'm not ever trying to say that I don't like it when someone else does something some way or it's not good. I just had something very specific, I guess, in mind that I was wanting to do. That's why I kind of did the panels because I thought that was kind of different. And my friend Tiara helped me do those. Oh my gosh, that was like forever ago. Last year, like March of last year, I think, is when she helped me put all this up. So it's been it's been a long time coming, and now I don't even know if I'm in love with it anymore because it's been like a year. Yeah, it's been a year since she helped me put these up. So now I'm trying to decide, do I like it? I thought about trying to get something that looks kind of more of like the aesthetic of the inside of a rebel ship. So white, maybe um stonish looking. I don't know. But then I thought just white behind is kind of boring. I don't know. I'm sorry that y'all can hear Zoe chewing on her bone, but I wanted to give them something to chew on while they were up here. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts on that. Because I was kind of going for like a living room chat vibe, like hanging out at the house, talking about Star Wars, and I don't know. This feels just kind of like homey, I guess, but not in a bad way. I don't know. You guys, I think overthink everything. So anyway, all of these are just fun hangouts while I get myself together on how I want everything to do. Hey, Tech. Yeah, we're trying to fill out the vibe. That's kind of why I'm doing these lives because I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want my setup to be when I start recording. Um, and I kind of wanted it to look different. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I could just take like a little section back here and put like white in. I don't know. I feel like white is just like it's too stark. But then if I painted these or if I changed it, I don't want it to because then I don't know. I'm overthinking it, but I want it to just be like chill. I'm eventually gonna have a camera besides my computer. And so it'll be a better angle. I was trying to set that up today with like an old phone and use that camera, but I have to link it and it takes me a little bit longer to do that kind of stuff. So, um, yeah, I'm trying to decide if maybe I want to hang. I love plants. So if I want to like put some plants up and have them kind of hanging down because I have some back here. Hey, hey, Moshe, what's up? I got this really big crystal. I want to get more. I love crystals and rocks and shiny things. And it's like, I don't know, Kyber, right? So it's fun. I know I threw this up there, but I've had that forever too. Robbie, my boyfriend is repainting at some point. He's gonna be repainting. Like I have like a little X-wing light hang up thingy, and I wanted it repainted. Because I love Poe's X-wing. I think his is really cool. I love that it's dark and it looks different than everybody else's. Does anybody else have like cool colored X-wings other than like the traditional? I'm not like a huge lore person, so I have like no problem asking these questions. Interior of the ship. Yeah. I I don't know about the white though. I feel like that's just going to be really stark. I don't know. This feels kind of like homey and nostalgic. I don't know. It's been like a year. It's been up for a year. The panels. I mean, they weren't like that expensive, so it's not like I can't do something different. Yeah. I'm maybe if I put like I don't know. I feel like I'm going to have to put up like a white. I need to adjust this. And that's why I need a different camera than just my computer. Um yeah, the Tandem 4 would be cool, but I don't know. I think maybe I need to put like a sheet up or something, like something back there that's the same color to see if that's going to even be like a good vibe. Because I don't know. I don't know if I'd have to add a bunch of stuff to make it not just so stark. I feel like that's going to be really stark looking. I don't know. Maybe. And I also don't want to put like too I don't know, too much effort and time into it if I don't know how long I'm going to be like in this spot. So, it's like I don't know. Maybe leave well enough alone. What is everybody up to on this Friday night? Ewok Village. I mean, it does kind of give Ewok Village a little because I've got my little Ewoks from Japan. They're so cute. I want to get more of them. You know, I was thinking if it wasn't like a ship, I could do like a darker gray and I could make it like Yavin. Yavin? I'm like brain farting it up today with pronunciation. Oh, Moshe, you're editing some videos for Mall Shadow War. That's cool, 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 cool. Yes, Tech, you are at a con, HorrorCon in Ohio. How is that going? I will be at WonderCon next weekend, so I'm excited about that. And sorry, my dogs are going to be walking around making noise. Can y'all hear them like super clearly? Again, I'm testing before I start recording because, like, this is recording, but I mean, like, recording episodes. I'm trying to see how this space sounds. And again, the easiest way to do it is to do these lives and see how it's coming across to you guys. 5 p.m. Do you mean 5 a.m.? 5 a.m. to 10 p.m.? That's a long day. Come on, you can get up here. Get this blanket. You don't like these, all this stuff hanging down, do you? Come on, come on, come on. There you go. Did he take your spot? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Come on. You really need to be on that blanket because you shed, but that's okay. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Come on. She has to think about it for a second. Oh, 5 p.m. Okay. I was like, 5 a.m. That is a lot. Oh, he's going to get his stuff all comfy. My life with the dogs. And Leo is adjusting. You gotta get it just right, don't you, buddy? Life is a dog mom. He's like a little Ewok, I feel like. Yeah, maybe I do like a rebel base vibe. I don't know, like that instead of ship. Maybe that would be better. 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. I feel like that sounds like a lot still for a con. And then I'm assuming it's going to be tomorrow and Sunday. I know a lot of people are at MegaCon. I wanted to go again because that was the first con ever that I went to. 2024. Yes. Cons are fun though. I'm excited to go to the first one of the season for me. Oh my gosh, someone should like film a con intro as like Bridgerton vibes. The first con of the season. Random thoughts. I don't know about you guys, but I am tired. I am so tired. I 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Well, I guess if people like horror, you should go to this con in, I don't know, where is it in Ohio? In Ohio? somewhere in Ohio. HorrorCon. Is it called HorrorCon? Moshe, you wanted to go to MegaCon too? Yeah, I know. Me too. She's clip clopping. I need to trim her nails. Come on. She's spoiled. She wanted a blanket. Horror Hound Weekend in Cincinnati. Okay, so if you're in Cincinnati, a Horror Hound Weekend con. I'm not a horror person. I don't know. I don't know if I like wish I was, but I'm not. You know, it's okay. But I bet the cons are really fun. Yeah, her being on the couch is not enough. I mean, I know a lot of people do not let their animals on their furniture. I'm the person that does. And, you know, she's a princess. She wants to be on a pillow or a blanket on the furniture. But at almost 10 years old, it's not going to change and I wouldn't change it. Oh, thank you, Moshe. You like the setup? Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like if um I did the panels like the sound panels like a year ago and Tiara helped me put them up crafting on Ilum. And when she came to visit and now I don't know. I'm like, do I like this vibe? Do I want to make it a different vibe? I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, nice. A tech just said there is a big Screamcast reunion for the 30th anniversary. That's really cool. Don't hate me. I don't think I've seen any of those movies. August. Cameron just said I need it to be August so I can be at Rebel ScumCon already. Yes. It's gonna be so hot though. I'm not ready for that heat. I'm not ready for the southern summer heat. Sounded like something was like crackling and I don't know what it was. But yeah, that con is gonna be fun. Lots of cons, lots of things. Let's see, there's a lot of conventions this year. I know they just Fan Expo just announced in Anaheim Fan Expo and that Mark Hamill is gonna be there. And then trying to think what else. There's the mall show, there's the Grogu, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. So there's a lot coming out, lots of stuff. Yeah, I know it is going to be hot. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be hot for me here too. I'm not ready for the southern heat, like, at all. I know Moshe understands that too. It's like hot and humid. The dry heat, everyone complains about it. Oh, it's 100 degrees. Okay, we'll try that in like 50 to 80% humidity where you're breathing like a sauna outside. It's awful. Yeah, yeah. Indoor or Yavin 4, 5 would be cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Contemplating. I guess it's kind of like the vibe, it's kind of going more earthy. Um, can y'all hear Zoe snoring? Leo, I'm an like audio tech nightmare. Just trying to see if you could hear Zoe snoring. Leo jumped off the couch and woke her up. Dry heat is still heat. It is still heat. It is still heat. It is. It is. It is. That's very, very true. But I think that wet heat, humid heat is I don't know. It's when you walk outside and it's like hot and then it feels like the air is also wet and hot and sticking to you and it's I don't know. Like it's just I don't know. Yeah. Versus the cold, like the heat too, versus a cold. Yeah, I'm over the cold. I literally did not want to get out of my house when it was under 30 degrees. I was like, nope, hard pass. I don't want to do that. I have like a different. I don't know if this is the volume. No, that's all the way up. I don't think that changes. Ooh, does that change the volume? Sorry for people watching this like after. Ooh, is that louder? Is that louder? Is that louder? I don't know. You guys, it's been so long since I've done this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry to people watching this live later. And this is not what the podcast is like. Typically, like the recordings, I'm just getting back into all of this. And so I'm doing some lives just as like a hangout to hang out and chill and talk Star Wars or whatever because why not? Yeah, 97 degrees tomorrow in Texas. It might be like 90 where I live tomorrow. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. 88. So not too bad. Not 97. I wish there was like a better spring thing. I mean, okay, so I feel like there we go. These are I feel like overdone questions, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I don't care. If we're gonna talk about weather, Star Wars planets are I feel like are insane and they have such extreme weather in a lot of them. I don't know if I would rather live on a cold planet or a hot planet. Like maybe hot, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I could deal with freezing cold and snow all the time. See you soon. Robbie had to go for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? A cold planet or a hot planet? I think I pick hot planet. Maybe not like Mustafar hot though. Maybe like I'm trying to think. Maybe like yeah, indoor or Kashyyyk. Maybe. I mean, I've grown up in forests, so I feel like forest is my vibe anyway. So Naboo, yes, but I feel like they don't have like extreme weather. I like Naboo, but like I don't know. Is that too earthy? Oh, you can hear my drink missing. Camino. That's a lot of rain. I do love rain, but that's like a lot. You'd be sending a lot of like very cold, wet communications in the rain. Outside, I don't know why. I mean, I know why he did it outside, but dramatic effect. Camino would be kind of fun though. But I mean, R.I.P. Camino. Hoth together with Tatooine, Decent Planet with Night Kara Carson. That's funny, Marche. One of the things I didn't think about is it's like just like the desert planets, like in the desert in real life, it's really cold at night. I bet when the sun goes down, it's freezing. Voss, or I do not know how to pronounce that last one. Belsavis? I'm trying my best. That could be fun. I haven't played that game. I have not played. I've played Knights of the Old Republic. There's so much Star Wars stuff I need to do. I feel like the shows and movies are my main thing. Belsavis. I was close. I was close. Yeah, I want to play more Star Wars games. I'm trying to decide if I want to get a PlayStation or an Xbox. I can't decide. Yeah, drinking that is gonna be a bad idea. It's gonna make me burp. Um, jungle. It's a jungle planet with some snow and some ice biomes too. That could be fun. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of creatures there that I'm not gonna want to deal with, but it could be fun. I don't know. I do need to play more games, but I've got to decide what I'm gonna get. If I'm gonna get, because I also want a Nintendo Switch, but I don't want to drop the money on like both at the same time. I know some people are like Xbox, PlayStation. I feel like so many people I know do have an Xbox. However, there are more PlayStation games that I want to play outside of the Star Wars sphere of games. So, Moshe. Fortnite, I don't think one I would be very good at, and two, I don't think I would be very good at it. I love that Robbie's gone right now. Ask him what it's like trying to play a game with me. It is interesting. I thought it'd be kind of funny to stream me trying to play video games because I'm so horrible. But I don't know if people would find it funny or if people would just be screaming at me the entire time. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that would be entertaining or not. And then like what if I ended up good at them and then it would be then what would be the point? It's a chore. Yeah, playing we tried to play Sonic and I kept killing him because I kept leaving the screen or not keeping up fast enough. I didn't know what I was doing. It's been a long time since I've played a video game. I used to be decent at it. I used to be okay at it. Like never amazing, but I was okay. Um but yeah. Um I think Battlefront would be entertaining if people didn't pull their hair out trying to watch me play it. So I don't know. I don't know if people would just yell at me and be like, this dumb girl is trying to play video games and all she does is like make me super angry. So I don't know if it would be worth to stream it or not, cuz either I'm going to have a bunch of angry guys in the comment section, um or people just like laughing and making fun of me, which is fine because like I'm not good at it. I have played Knights of the Old Republic on my phone, and don't yell at me. I know a lot of people hate it on the phone, but I've played it. I've played both of them on there, and they're really fun. I love the storylines. You never know unless you try. Yes, Ryan. I know. I mean, it's just I just don't know if people are just gonna hate it or find it funny. I think it's funny. Is that okay? Is that on? Why am I thinking that's only on the computer? Is the Old Republic not Knights of the Old Republic, but is the other game is that available on like everything? I mean, I know it's not like on the phone, but this is how out of the loop I am. Fake fan, guys. I'm a fake fan. I also want to read all the so video games need to do more of that. Hello. Speaking of people live streaming, I think you've been live streaming a lot of Jedi Survivor, I think. Only in PC. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. I am not that techie. I have my lap book. My laptop a computer build for gaming is just like that's next tier level, and I am not even like bottom tier. So Zoe, can you like lay down, please? Thank you. You're so cute. You're so showy. Right in the back spot. Just finished it. Yeah, I would love to play the Jedi Survivors and stuff. But I just again I need to get a console or a system or whatever the kids are calling it these days. So I just need to decide if I'm gonna get an Xbox or a PlayStation. But I love playing Little Big Planet, which is a PlayStation game. And I love hitting people with the frying pan. That's my favorite move. Or it used to be. Um, I also, when I was around a PlayStation, um, put a lot of time into Fable. Like embarrassingly too much time into that game. Tech is currently playing Star Wars Outlaw. I feel like that would be really fun. That game looks fun to me. I like that kind of stuff. And the little creature is so cute. I'm here for it. I like story games. I like games with stories where you can make choices, and like that's why I think I liked playing KOTOR on the phone, because I don't know. I like those games where you can. I have a hard time being bad though. Like I know it's a game, but I always go light side, except I don't know if any of y'all have played Fable, but one time I messed up something and I hit the wrong thing and I did something really bad. And so I ended up with you can end up with like horns if you're bad or wings if you're good. And somehow my character had both. I don't remember what I did, but a PlayStation, yeah. Robbie's gonna be sad because he has an Xbox and Tiara. Yeah, it's so hard. Like, I know it's a game and you're just playing a game, but it's so hard for me to play dark side. Like, I think there's been a couple of times on it that I've done a couple of things to get like a couple of dark side powers because it did make things a little bit easier. And I was just like curious, like, what would the gameplay be like if I had this like force ability or whatever? And but it makes me sad. Like doing bad things even in games. It's so hard. I like cosplaying as dark side characters, but I don't know. It's hard in the games even. Oh my gosh, I know it is. I have been good. Busy, but good. Um I feel like life is crazy. It's always changing. Things are always, I don't know, always going on. I am really excited about the mall show though. I think that's going to be really exciting. I realized I have like no mall stuff, which I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of Darth Vader stuff, but I don't have a lot of mall stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we were just talking about earlier if I want to change it or not. I wanted it to kind of have just like a chill, more laid back vibe so that when I do start actually recording episodes again for the podcast or doing lives with guests for the podcast episodes, I want it to be kind of like, I don't know, friends hanging out in your house talking about Star Wars. But now I can't decide because I've had, sorry for people watching this that we're going over this over and over again, like after it's live, but I had these panels up for like a year. Because I wanted it to look kind of different, but now I don't know. I get over things really easy and I like changing things a lot. And I think because it's taken me so long to get this going again, I'm like, my wall has looked like that forever, even though it hasn't looked like that forever for you guys. It has for me coming up here. And so now I'm trying to decide if I want to keep it like this or if I want to add something that looks more like kind of stone in there too, or what I want to do. It's so hard when the show does look so good. Big time Maul and Vader hater. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. I get it. We probably all, I mean, I don't love Darth Vader. Like, what he does. He's just a cool bad guy, I guess. I mean, I feel even bad saying cool bad guy. There are no cool bad guys, but um, he's a good villain. Is is hard to say too. He is a top tier villain. How about that? He is like I think there is something about Vader. And I just don't know how Maul, all the Maul fans are going to come for me for this, but I just don't think Maul is as menacing and as, I don't know. It's just like, I remember one time, um, it was maybe around the 40th anniversary, maybe of, um, yeah, I think it was the 40th of Star Wars, of A New Hope, and they did a thing where I live where they did the movie, and I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but that's fine. I repeat myself all the time. Where they play the movie and they have the orchestra play all the music live, which is incredible. If you ever get to do that for any kind of I've got to, sorry, the pollen is like already bad where I am. And I did a lot of like dusting and cleaning today. And so I feel like I'm stopped up and I keep getting tickles in my throat. Anyway, um, I went to that for the 40th. They did A New Hope, And I will never forget. I went with my parents went with me, and it was so cool. I think that was like the first time that I saw it on like a big screen. Um, and so we were sitting there watching it, and then there's in the towards the beginning when Vader comes on the screen for the first time. There was this little boy, and I think he was just taken out of it. Like he forgot where he was. And he literally just he was probably like 11, and I'm gonna move this out of the way so I don't like scream in y'all's face. It was like he stood up and he was like, oh, like, and everyone just started laughing because it's like he forgot that he was in this like big outdoor like amphitheater. And everyone was like, "Oh my gosh." And it just took me back to like as a kid when you see Vader, he's iconic. He is he he really is just I think one of the most iconic villains in pop culture. Um so that's why I have a lot of Vader stuff, because I think it's just iconic, and I think um his story is so tragic, and it's such a good reminder. Anakin's story, I talk about this a lot of how um I don't know, like I talked about this on, I think it was Force Ghost Conversations. I talked about this with on that podcast. Oh my gosh, my brain is so dead. For Revenge of the Sith, and we really kind of went into um like about Anakin's story, and about how it is such a tragedy, and um how you can look at it from the perspective of, there's people around me in real life that are hurting, that need a friend, they need a father figure, or different things that they need, and they don't have it. And it's like, yes, that you're an adult and you're responsible for yourself and your actions, but also how can we like help those around us? And because I think while Anakin is 100% responsible for his actions and what he chose, um I wonder sometimes if it would be a little bit different if he actually received what he needed from people, and people like saw the red flags and actually did something, and weren't like, you know Padme lover, but a girl there. Girl, like you don't just go, "Oh, it's human." When your man that you're crushing on like murders an entire village. So, um, it's just like I think that's also the tragedy of it too, being blinded by love, and it's a very extreme version of that. I mean, I know what it's like to look past things because you want to believe the best in people, and I know that's a very extreme version of that. Um but I don't know. I always take Star Wars and think about like how can it relate to us today, and how can we take this story? I mean, that's the whole thing about myth and mythology, that Lucas was so keen on, was it shapes so much of people, and it shapes so much of society, and even like the religious aspects of different things, and just storytelling and myth, and archetypes, different things like that, how that can it really can impact people, and it sticks with you. I mean, oral history has been around forever, it seems like, with humans. And so just taking that tradition and turning it into a story that kind of goes through not only just like the hero's tale, but so many different complexities and challenges that we face, is one of the reasons why I love Star Wars so much. Yeah, yeah, Yoda. Yeah, Yoda. When Anakin was talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, basically just let it go and pray harder." Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was like, "Oh," like, with his mom, "It's okay. Like, we're all gonna, we're all gonna go at some point and be one with the Force. Like, that's natural, it's part of life." While that is true, and especially in the Star Wars again, cannot talk, especially in the Star Wars universe, and even in real life, like, our time will come and go. That's not really what you need to tell people when they're grieving or when they're angry or upset. It's not um spiritual bypassing, I think is probably the correct term for that. Um but again, that's so relevant. I mean, I know I've been told some insane things when I've gone through things, and it's like, and then you tell someone and you're like, "Oh, someone told me this when I was grieving, or someone told me this when I was struggling," especially not for me personally. I don't have children. I've never gone through that process like a lot of women have, where they struggle with infertility. But the wild things that women are told when they struggle with that, just it blows my mind, and it makes me just like angry. Um, and it's just wild what people will say, and then you tell people that they told you this or that they told your friend this, and then, "Oh, well, they mean well." No, that's not an excuse anymore. Like, meaning well does not make it better. I don't know. There's so many quotes in Star Wars that I love, and one of my favorite ones is Ahsoka in the Ahsoka show, which I love. And she says, and I won't get it word for word properly. I need to look it up again or watch it again so that I can have it word for word. But basically, the gist of it is, even like, you can do things with the best intentions and it still is going to have consequences. Um, and I think that is so true. Like, we can do so many things with the best intentions, and we can still have great consequences from those things. I think about, like, in the real world, like, so much is done out of fear, and that fear turns into, and this like so much relates to Star Wars, it turns into an unhealthy attachment, or which is like a possession of someone, or it turns into a control where you want to control people, like kids, or shelter them, different things like that, and it doesn't lead to any good things. And I think we've seen that even with news that's come out recently, in the world, that when you do things out of fear and your intentions might be good, um people are going to suffer, and when there's no accountability, people are really going to suffer. And I think Star Wars tells those stories on such a good level. I just wish people could see it a little bit deeper for what it is. Because yeah, Star Wars is cool, and I always say it's fine to watch it if you just love the action, the lightsaber battles, and different things like that. But I'll always say, and I'll say this forever, I just really think that the reason why it has lasted as long as it has is that whole aspect of, myth and storytelling and passing things to the next generation, and there being so much more meaning. And so, regardless of what kind of project comes up, whether it's Maul or Mandalorian and Grogu or anything, even if they did a Vader series and it was darker, I think as long as the focus is still on, what Star Wars is, and I mean, it is hope, and it is, going through those hard times and not giving up, or seeing people give up, and how either their community or found family comes around them. But as long as that's like still a part of it, I mean, I think of even like Skeleton Crew. It was such a like family, like kid coded show, but I loved it because it was so nostalgic, and it just brought back really that feeling even as an adult of watching Star Wars, and it still had that deeper meaning to it, where you're thinking, these adults talk about like shelter and doing things out of fear. Like, why are they keeping this planet hidden? And is that really the best thing for these kids and for their community? So, it's just very, 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 very I don't know, Star Wars is so good to me. It's so good, and I say that saying, like, it's okay to have things that you like and you don't like, but it's so good. See, go back to the chat. If only Qui-Gon survived. Yes, I know. I mean, I think again that goes back to Lucas wanting this to be such a tragedy and telling, Darth Vader at the time, but Anakin's story is who he needed didn't survive. That's who he needed. He didn't need a brother. He needed a father. And that's what Qui-Gon could have been. And I love how they explore that in the Clone Wars a lot more between um Obi-Wan and Anakin, and you kind of see that struggle and Renew the Acolyte. Yes, I truly did like the show. Um Parts of it, like, I don't really like focusing on that kind of stuff because, like, if something didn't, like, hit right with me or not, it wasn't even storyline stuff, it was just, like, other production aspects of it, that wasn't necessarily, like, my favorite, but I really enjoyed and loved The Acolyte, and I think what they were trying to do with that was really interesting. Um yeah, I would like to get more Darth Plagueis. I think it would be really cool to get more of his story and the stranger, and especially since that sets so much up with the prequels. But I just hope that if they do bring that back at some capacity, like whatever that looks like, um it I'm not they didn't mess with anything to me really. I know to some people they did, and I think that's like fair. But I just really hope that I don't know. I do like actually it's funny cuz like Robbie and I had this conversation. I think in Star Wars it's kind of fun because like you can kind of play with the whole like a certain point of view thing. Um and the fact that we don't really know who we're getting these stories from. That's something that I have been kind of nerding out over lately is are we getting this from Hugh Yang? Like, are we getting all of these stories from Hugh Yang, like telling them to who knows who? Like, because it's, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So who was far, far away a long time ago that's now telling this wherever they are? I don't know. That's interesting to me too. Because we know that like R2 never was it R2? R2 didn't have his memory wiped ever. So it's like, is it for a while? I was like, is this R2? Like, did someone find like R2's like data somewhere? Let's see, asking a lot of really good questions about the blurry lines of good and evil, how institutions corrupt, and why the Jedi began to fail. Yes, I loved that a lot. I loved them digging into that because I think it's really important to kind of set that up. And I think the High Republic era does that too. I haven't read as much again. I'm so behind. But I do think that it's really cool to kind of explore that and go into the why. I love the why. And so yeah, I'm so fascinated to think like who are we hearing these stories from? And are they all true? And does that mean that that gives creatives license to play with the canon a little bit? I know that's going to really irritate a lot of the fans if things don't perfectly line up congruently storyline wise. Um but if you have someone say what was true from a certain point of view, I mean, was that kind of a gimmick to cover some plot holes and things, maybe? But if we're gonna talk about like in universe, yeah, George said it was the Wills. Yes, I just wonder if that's what they're gonna go with, and if like that's what I'm curious about. Like, is it the Wills, and who are they talking to, and where, or is it someone? I don't know, like, I don't know, like, are they gonna keep it that way? Is it? because like I don't know. I think my brain went like Hugh Yang because of him saying he said the thing in Ahsoka. And then I think of R2 because him having all of his memory. I wish they would do more about the wills. I loved that stuff in the Clone Wars. I I really love any kind of like really when Star Wars gets like metaphysical and like um like the world between worlds, um Yoda talking to the Wills in the Clone Wars, the cave that Luke goes into when like I know I say this over and over again, but when it gets into like the like psychology and I don't know, like that kind of stuff, like that's like my bread and butter of Star Wars. I know for most people, again, it's like lightsaber fights and, that kind of stuff, but for me, it is like when Star Wars gets weird and it gets like deep and it gets like kind of like I don't know if like spiritual is the right word, but when it gets into that deeper level of like the force and like the father and the daughter and the son and all that kind of stuff, I'm like I love it. So but I'm just like wondering if saying that whole certain point of view thing and like not knowing who our narrator always is, if that is kind of like I don't want to say like a cop out, like some people will view it that way, but of like messing with stuff a little, like because I don't know. I don't know. It's just interesting. New things are introduced. It's canon, and it's our fun job to have conversations like this. Enjoy our own imagination. Getting mad solves nothing and ages you. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it's more fun to like play with it and think. I mean, I think it's like fair if people don't like something or it like frustrates them. I have a hard time with that, being as understanding if it's headcanon and it's not something that has been confirmed by either, like, Lucas or now at this point, like, the current state of things, because even the EU, even though people love it and there's so much good stuff and content and, like, stories in there, like, that even wasn't canon to Lucas. So when people get mad and it's like, "Well, this wasn't like the EU or, Legends," I guess what it is now, I'm like, "Okay, but George didn't take that as, like, fact." It was just more stories. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's like keep a little more of an open mind, I guess. But I do understand when people want things to be more like continuous and not um you learn one thing and then they're giving you something different and it seems like well are they trying to erase this like the one thing that wasn't my favorite, I'm not going to say that I hated it because I don't again don't love doing that, but I don't personally love the idea of Yoda, like if we go back to the acolyte of Yoda covering that up. I think Yoda, while he made mistakes and he was not perfect, I think that does, for me, contradict a lot of who he is. That as we see him, I don't know. I mean, maybe they could tell that story well, and I would not give them the opportunity to do that. But I don't know. Like, keep it under Yoda, and they kept it from him or something. I don't know. But again, that's me as a fan having an opinion and, like, my headcanon. Like, I also wanna make sure that I say that I've said this so many times, like, that I'm not writing Star Wars. Like, none of us doing these podcasts or YouTube channels I mean, maybe some of them are. Some of them might be writers, I don't know. But, like, most of us are not working for Lucasfilm. We're not a part of their process, and so, like, if you think your idea is that great, go get a job with Lucasfilm. Like, that's what I wanna be like, "Hey, if you're gonna hate it so much, then go do it. Like, go, like, intern there, like, try to get a job." Like, most of the people making stuff is are fans. And so it is possible as a fan to like work there and do things. So that's my little rant because I just think in Star Wars, it talks a lot about ego and our ego getting in the way. And I think a lot of people on here, on YouTube, and on podcasts, we need to check our ego at the door because we are not the creators. We're not the writers. We're not the producers. We're not the people putting our blood, sweat, tears, and money into these projects. And put your time and money where your mouth is. And that is my opinion on if you want to can contribute. I'm just making up words now. To Star Wars in that way is like, okay, like go do it, you know? Um, let's see. Do you think maybe Yoda's judgment was clouded as far back at the acolyte? Maybe. I don't know. Um, I think clouded is like to me fits with what was going on in the prequels, but him full on like doing a cover up to me does not. Personally. Again, it kind of stinks that like we aren't able to kind of see right now where how that was going to be told. And even if it's a different person continuing it, I just think um yeah, they did go through a lot, like, right before that, because, like, if you read all the High Republic books and comics and things. Yeah. I don't know. I would like that to continue. In what form or fashion or who continues that story, I don't know, but, I would like to see more of Plagueis and, kind of that whole thing. I think it would be interesting to see kind of the setup for all of that. And old Palps, how he kind of how he comes to be. That would be interesting too. But I also am excited for a lot of the other stuff that's coming up too, like the was it Starfighter, the Ray movie, the other Star Wars project that they're working on that's supposed to be set like somewhere else in the timeline. I think that's going to be really cool too. I would love to get more like old Republic stuff, honestly. I really would. I would love that. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, sorry. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. It was like a rant, a weird rant I just went on, but it's fine. Um Probably need to wrap things up in a little bit. It's been like an hour of me on here ranting and talking to you guys. Not ranting, just like ADHD vibes. Um yes. So setup, I am still playing with this wall. I don't think I'm going to keep this here. I just put it up there tonight to fill because I want to get more big crystals because I think that's like a fun and more plants, more rocks, maybe hanging plants. I don't know, and then maybe I don't know if I want to like split this wall because it's all just like one thing. Um, so maybe I put something like here that gives more like a I don't know Yavin, Yavin, whatever vibe. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but I will have the camera a little bit different. Like once I'm not using the one from my computer, it'll be a little bit different of an angle. So you can see more of this, a little bit more chill. Because I want to be able to like sit back, like. Oh my gosh, I'll probably pull this back more. But I'll probably like have my computer like closer to me, I think, like maybe even in my lap. I don't know. And like I don't know. And then I can like, this will be closer, but just like chill. Just like chill. You know, I can like sit, I don't know, sit, like, sit and chill. Like, like we're, I don't know. I just wanted to be like hanging out. Like, I don't know. I want it to be less like studio feeling and more like friends hanging out talking about Star Wars, especially when I have guests come on because you guys know from like when it was Tales of the Force and I had people on, like, it's not surface level. Like, I'm always so honored and feel so, I don't know, like, I feel so honored that people will come on and they will share about their lives in the way that they do, because you really have to trust the place and the person that you're sharing that with. Especially when people will talk about like their mental health and different things, and I want it to still have, I don't know, like I want it to feel even more like we're just talking. It's not like it's conversational, that it's a conversation and people are like, it's a virtual, I mean, unless I have people visiting me and we can record it here or we can record somewhere. Rebellion of Hope After Dark. Yeah. And even when I have like episodes going again, and there's that, which is going to be a lot more like structured and not as crazy as this. I still want to do this kind of stuff, like where I just get on a live and it's like, I don't know, I kind of like, I think the like Rebel Base headquarters is fun. I feel like that's kind of fun. Nostalgic y feeling. And be like, come hang out at Rebel headquarters or whatever, like Rebel HQ. That's what I've been saying, I think. Thank you. The Viral Room is very warm and welcoming. That's what I'm going for. um, and so I don't know, like I when I first did this, and it was Tales of the Force, I was like, okay, it's got to be very produced and very, but I don't know how to do that. So I've got to figure it out. And like, I wanted it to be very like polished because I look at things online and I'm like, I want to do that. Or I like this, or I like this aspect. And I have had a hard time. I talked about this, I think, in the original form, I guess, of this show too. Um, if I can't do it perfect from the beginning, I have a hard time starting something, because I just see it as, well, why do it if I can't do it well, from the beginning? And that's been a big challenge for me in a lot of areas, especially starting or even starting over in something. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do it. Like, I have this vision of where I want of a, what I want something to be, and I want it to be like that today. Like, I don't want it to be like that in 2 years. I want to start like now, like starting my business. I have this huge vision of what I want this shop to be, and like all these really cool photo shoots and all this very, very stylized and very like, I don't know, like ethereal, earthy, like nerdy but fun. Like, I have all these ideas of these, like, I mean, they'd be very expensive shoots. Like, like, I mean, my boyfriend's an incredible photographer. I have great friends that are photographers or that can model and can do all these things. Like, I have a lot of friends that are creative, but like the things that I want to do is like big company vision. And I know that you have to like start somewhere, but that's really hard for me to do. And then I see stuff and I'm like, I hate this. Like, I look at it and it's like, yeah, I know people like, they're commenting on my reels or they're doing this or like stuff is selling for my shop, but it's like, this is not what I want it to look like. Like, I want it to look like this very like curated, intentional. I mean, I'm very intentional with everything that I do. So with like, I'll even give you an example. So with Tales of the Force, I haven't decided if I'm going to change the music. And one of my friends, Michael, he wrote it for me. And I'm trying to decide if I want to. I believe in paying people, even your friends. It's important for me. Um I know some people are, and I give people stuff and I'm like, "Here, take this, shirt or dress or whatever." And I don't know why, I just feel like even when someone's your friend, like, you credit them, you they inspire you. That's just a big thing for me. Like, if someone takes your photos, you credit them. Like, even if they're not a photographer. That's a me thing. If you're inspired by someone, like, I credit them. I did a Dark Side Padme bound last, or it wasn't really a bound, it was a cosplay last year um at WonderCon, and that's because I saw Jen Marie do hers, and I wanted to make sure that I was like, she inspired me to do a Dark Side Padme, like, picnic look, because this is me getting on a soapbox again. What is it gonna hurt you? What is it gonna hurt you to say, "I saw this from this person, and it inspired me to do something like it"? It's not gonna hurt you. It's not. That is community. That is, friendship. That is being authentic, I think. And I think I'm not trying to toot my own horn because I'm not perfect at it and I have a lot of things that I need to work on. But that is something that is very, very important to me as a person. And so when my friend, I asked him to write the music for that, I was like, I do want to pay you, like, and so I'm trying to decide if I want to do something different. But even though I have never something I haven't ever really said in an online space is for Star Wars, because I don't want to seem like I'm adding to anything, because I love her as a character. I love Rey. I think Rey is amazing. I don't see myself in her as much as other female Star Wars characters like Ahsoka. Um, so I don't say this as I don't like her or that she's not a good character. However, I love her music and I love how we're introduced to her. And I love that, like, um I don't know, like, it's very, like, light and ethereal and, like, hopeful, even though, like, we don't know who she is. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted that. The music for Tales of the Force was very much inspired by Rey's theme. And then in the logo that I did, which I again had a friend and again paid her for her time, because I think that's important for us to do if we can. Um, if you can. Now, if you're friends and you can't afford it and you're like, "Hey, like, I wanna do this for you," because that's totally okay. I mean, I'm just saying, like, at least shout them out. If you can't pay someone to do something and your friend offers to do something for you, like, at least give them credit for it. Like, I think that's, like, super important. Like, so I'm not saying you have to and you're a bad person if you don't pay your friend. I'm just saying, just give credit at least, I guess. I hope this is making sense. Um but anyway, I hired someone to create my new logo. But when I did my other logo, and she did something completely different than what I was expecting, but I really liked it. Um, but my Tales of the Force one that I just did myself on my phone in an app, there's like a shooting star. I don't know if anyone noticed that. And the reason why I had that was because of The Last Jedi, and it made me think of Room Boy. And so, um, I just want us to all remember, I don't know why I'm getting, like, emotional right now for some reason, but, like, um, we were kids once when we watched these, and that wonder and the, like, myth of Luke Skywalker, you can hate that movie all you want, that's fine. But let's, like, take this one moment in that movie. It's really powerful because it's really talking about the next generation and how what we do and the choices we make and the hope that we can put out there, um, it trickles down and it can affect someone. And you think about, like, the tragedy again, we go back to Anakin. That affected an entire galaxy. Um, and so did what Luke and what Rey and what Ahsoka and what everyone did. Like that affected so many people. And so I just think it's so important to remember that it's not just us. It's not just me and my opinions on Star Wars and this franchise and, the IP or whatever, however you want to look at it. Um, there's a kid watching this. And I remember I was at a convention and it was a Clone Wars panel. It was in the town that I grew up in, or city that I grew up in. Um, and a little boy came up and he was about probably 10 or 11. And he asked what the cast, what their favorite Star Wars movie was. And I don't remember who it was in the cast. It might have been Matt. Ask him, well, what's your favorite? And this, in where I live, um, I would say due to a lot of socioeconomic, political, religious, a lot of culture here. Um, a lot of people don't like the sequels for a lot of reasons. And so I know that's very general. That's generalizing. But this is you're not going to find as many people that are just like in love with everything sometimes in the area and just like maybe even the South in general. But like this little boy didn't know. Like, he's a little kid, like, just like we were when the prequels some of us when the prequels came out, and we didn't know the hate that was online. We didn't know that people hated Jar Jar Binks. I loved Jar Jar Binks. I still love Jar Jar Binks, and he said, without missing a beat, "The Rise of Skywalker," and I looked around at all these, like, dude bros sitting in that room, and I thought, "You better not say a dang word or boo or anything for this kid because Star Wars is Star Wars, and if you don't like it, that's okay, but there's a child that is watching it just like you did, that it's gonna resonate different with them because they're a kid. They're not thinking about plot holes. They're not thinking about how good the writing necessarily is, if everything makes sense. They're just engrossed in this world, looking at it with a childlike wonder of Jedi versus the Sith, the light side faces the dark side, and that the light can win, and that we can have hope, and that there is good in the world, and there are heroes that we can try to emulate, and they might not be perfect, just like Luke Skywalker wasn't perfect. Um, but it's okay. And like we can stick together, and together is better, and there are more of us than them. And I just I think of that, and I think of Broom Boy, and I think of the little kid. This sounds weird, but like the inner child in all of us. And yeah, tech every Star Wars is someone's favorite. And I'm so glad that in that room of people that clearly did not like the sequels because they had shirts on that said a lot of negative things, which is their right. Um, However, none of them said a word. It was just quiet. And I looked around and I thought, is this the day that I get in someone's face to be like, don't shame this child? Um, because it's fair for that to be your favorite movie. It's fair for any of them to be your favorite movie and or show or whatever. Um, and that's why I want to do this. And that's why I continue to want to do this regardless of what life throws at me personally. Star Wars has gotten me through so many dark times and so many things, and I know that it has done that for others, and I want a place for people to share that and to talk about it, um, and to not be judged for those things. And it's we were kids once too when we watched it, and um I'm not saying that you can't be passionate about it and you can't want something to be the best that it can be. I'm not saying that. But I think, like I always say, we can be a lot more kind and respectful and more intentional with what we say instead of just throwing a comment out there. There's so many times that I see comments and I'm like, is it really worth it? No, it's really not. It's not worth it. It's not worth me getting into that fight with someone online that I don't know over. Um Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. And I will stand up when I need to. People that know me know that. I don't back down from confrontation if it's needed. But it's not always needed. And I don't want to yell at a wall either because like what's the point of that too? It's just wasting my energy and it's not I'm getting to the point where it's not worth it anymore, you know. But yeah, so thank you guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I think my pups probably are done and tired and want to go probably to the bathroom and chill. um but thanks for hanging out and another just kind of like random not planned live. I might do a couple more of these or I might start doing episodes. I'm not really sure. I have one. I have two recorded um from previous from Tales of the Force. One of them the audio did not turn out very well. So I'm going to have to probably re-record with that guest. And I've already talked to him about that in the future. And then the other one I have not watched or listen to the whole thing. And so once I do that, I can determine I think it's good. So I'll just need to probably edit that and get that out there. Um, but I kind of want to do some of the new ones first, and then bring that one back in. I know it's been a while, and I feel so bad for the guest because she's been. I just feel so bad because it was just like it happened at such a like unexpectedly, I just pulled my hair out of my, headphones. Unexpected change in my life happened literally right after that. Like, my life completely changed, and so, and was, like, just wrecked and changed. So, it's one of those things where that was not expected when I went into recording that because I recorded a lot of things, like, ahead of time. And so it's not like I don't want to release it or anything like that. It's just um a lot of stuff happened and then I had to go through a journey of a lot of healing and taking time away and rebuilding my life. And I don't regret doing that. I think like hustling and working hard, having a good work ethic is important. But I also know that burnout is real, and I don't want to do that with something that I love so much as Star Wars. So I took a lot longer off. And then I also have some really, really cool conversations and interviews that I got to do at Legacy Expo last year. And I really want to get those out too. However, again, it's just taking some time. And I do want to get some stuff that's like formatted, like how I want this to be first before I go back and like add some of that because it's going to be kind of a little bit of a different vibe. And I don't want the very beginning of this to be kind of like, um, not the vibe. Like I want people to know what the vibe is going to be and then be like, okay, now I'm adding this stuff in. So anyway, long story short, I don't know if I'll do some more live streams while I figure out what I want all this to look like or not, or what that is, but it's okay. We don't have to know everything. Things don't have to be perfect from the beginning. We're here and we're alive and we're doing it. And that's life. I hope you all have a wonderful night and I will see you guys all later. You know, don't forget, like I talked about with Tales of the Force, we are luminous beings and not this crude matter. Um, so yeah, go spread some hope, do something kind for someone. Tomorrow it's the weekend. Spread some hope how you can. It's a dark time. It's a hard time. Take these lessons from Star Wars and make your day and someone else's day maybe a little bit better. And may the force be with you all. And I'll see you soon. Bye.